It's time for Recipe of the Day. So I have perfected crispy skin salmon in other ways before that I've told you about. I do that one under the broiler that is so good. You basically set your salmon on a pan about 6 inches under the broiler, skin side up, and the broiler crisps the skin while the flesh underneath is sort of more gently cooking. Really, really great. But I often cook salmon in the air fryer when it doesn't have the skin on it because it's just so easy. You just pop it in there and it's done like 8 to 10 minutes later. You don't have to do very much. And so I wanted to be able to get the crispy skin when I have salmon with the skin on. I want to be able to do that in the air fryer too and have it be just as good as the broiler method. Now, this recipe has been a bit of an evolution because when I first started testing it, I was getting thicker salmon portions from the grocery store. I don't know what was going on. They were just thicker salmon. And so by the time the salmon was cooking through to the middle, the skin, which was skin side up on the salmon, was getting nice and crispy. And so that is what I posted about in the recipe on the site. And then it started to get some comments that the skin wasn't crispy for people. And I retested and realized that it was very dependent on how thick the salmon was and how long it was in the air fryer cooking. If that salmon fillet is a little bit thinner, then the salmon's not in there for long enough for the skin to crisp up. What is a girl to do if she wants crispy skinned salmon, but that salmon's too skinny? I have the solution. So you want the salmon cut into portions. So like a single serving portion, and each portion should have some skin on one side. And you want to be cooking just as many pieces of salmon as fit comfortably in your air fryer without touching each other. I can fit 5 in mine. And since we're going to be using a special technique to crisp the skin up after, it's okay if having a little bit more in there makes the salmon take a little bit longer to cook through to the middle, because that crucial crisping portion is going to happen at the end, and it will happen with as many portions of salmon as you have in your air fryer. So don't worry about that. So you're getting those portions cut into the sizes that you want if they're not already cut. Then you are brushing both sides with just a little bit of olive oil and a sprinkle of salt and pepper. This is one of those recipes where I really think you want the natural flavors of the salmon and that amazing buttery bacon-like crispy skin to shine through. And so I don't complicate it with other seasonings. If you want to add other seasonings, go right ahead. But for me, olive oil, salt, and pepper is all that I want, all that I need. Maybe a little homemade tartar sauce on the side could be nice, or like that creamy lemony dill sauce that I told you about the other day. Those would be good, but that's kind of on the side, so you can have a bite of the salmon by itself and see and experience that, and then have a little bit of sauce if you want it, you know? Okay, so once you have the oil and seasoning on the salmon, you're putting them into the air fryer, straight into the basket, skin side up, and then you're putting that into the air fryer and you're cooking it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until the salmon is to the doneness that you want. I'm talking about the internal doneness because, again, we're going to fix the skin in a moment. Now, the safe temperature for salmon is 145 degrees Fahrenheit. You can take the salmon out when it's at 140 and it's going to be resting for a few minutes. It will get up to 145. But if you are somebody who likes your salmon a little bit less well done, you can take it out at whatever temperature you like, as long as you are comfortable with that. And so you can test that with a thermometer, internal temperature thermometer, instant read thermometer, or you can just cut into a piece and see if it's done the way you like it. Then you're using some tongs to transfer those salmon portions to a plate, and then use those tongs to gently peel the skin off of the salmon portions. It's going to come off quite easily. And actually, I'll tell you, if you want to see this in action, I have a video of this on Instagram Reels and on TikTok and in the recipe itself. So if you go to cookthestory.com/ROTD and find the air fryer salmon with crispy skin recipe there, or go to cookthestory.com and search for air fryer salmon, or go to @cookthestory on Instagram or TikTok, you will see it. And it just comes off like nothing. And then you put those pieces of skin straight back into the air fryer. And then you need something on top of them so they don't fly around, because they're kind of lightweight, and that convection fan in the air fryer will make them kind of fly all around the air fryer. So I like to use the metal trivet that is heat safe that came with my air fryer. They give it to you with the air fryer sometimes that you can do like 2 levels of cooking at the same time, like one level on top of another. So that is why it would have come with yours if you have something like that. If not, you can use a knife, like a metal butter knife. Just don't touch it with your bare hand when you go to take it out, because it's going to burn you. Use an oven mitt. But that however you're doing it, you're going to weigh down those salmon skins a little bit with something that's not covering them fully, that's just holding them down a little bit. And then it's going back into the air fryer for 2 to 4 minutes until it's nice and crispy. And that's at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll see it is super crispy. You can see that in the video too. Like the crunch is unbelievable. And just know that once you take the skin out of the air fryer and it starts to cool a little bit, it crisps up even more. What I do is I take it out of the air fryer and I put it right on top of those portions of salmon that were resting for a moment and then serve it on top like that. Beautiful, beautiful salmon with perfectly crispy skin. So you get the salmon cooked exactly how you want it and you get the crispy skin. Win, win, win all over the place. Okay, I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is April 24th of 2025. You can also get the link in our Facebook group. I post the recipe of the day link there every single day, so you can always find inspiration for what you can make that day. And you can find the recipe that I'm talking about, and the podcast episode is there at the recipe as well. So that is a great place to get everything you need. The Facebook group is at facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.